as industry experts to take this up. I'll request you all as industry experts to take it up. I'll give you my example of cost drivers. Right, I'll give you my example of cost drivers. Right, Roshan could speak about his, and he will speak about his industry. I learned cost driver, right, ma'am, incidentally in SBI cabs, not when I was in Bajaj. And who taught me cost drivers was an entrepreneur who would not have even heard this name. Small guys, sir, but they understand finance much better. They apply finance better than finance MBAs like me. The name of the gentleman is Mr. Gopala. The name of the company is Karthik Alloys. So this guy comes to us for funding, okay? And he says, okay, we look at the entire thing and we look at the numbers, we feel comfortable. Then we ask him a question. What's your background, Mr. Gopala? He says, right, 25 years in ferroalloy industry. And right, which company? VBC Ferroalloys, a famous Andhra-based company's marketing head. That means this guy understands his business. So he said, very good. That means you understand ferroalloy business. You want to start ferroalloys? Why, Mr. Gopala? He says, I see a boom coming in ferroalloys and I want to encash upon it. And now I want to earn money for myself, right? Not for VBC Ferroalloys. So I want to be an entrepreneur. I said, fantastic. Then the next question, which explains valued cost drivers. Cost drivers. Where do you want to locate your plant? And he says, he is an Andhraite, based out of Andhra, competition is based out of Andhra, and the gentleman gives me an answer, I want to locate my unit in Goa. And we are like, right, young, na? So we don't understand these things. Goa, sir? Then he asked this question, what is the cost driver? He says, Mr. Menon, what do you think is the major cost in ferroalloy? And if you looked at the numbers, the major cost is cost of power. Melting is involved. He said, very good. So you know power is a cost driver. Now I'll tell you why I'm going to Goa. Goa, those days, used to give a 50% power subsidy. So when his competitors were getting power those days at 2 rupees 40 paise, Karthik Alloys was getting it at 1 rupee 20 paise. I'm not finished. Second thing, why Goa is, look at the entrepreneur speaking, and he's not a finance MBA, but he understood cost drivers. You know what he said? The next thing, he said, all other regions in India is facing a power shortage. Goa is a power surplus region. And we were like, wow. He said, I'm not finished. I'll give you a third reason why I want to go to Goa. Goa those days is to be declared as, you very nicely analyzed it, as an industrially backward area. And if you are an industrially backward area, you get what is known as tax holiday. Please understand what is cost driver. If you are working in an industry, you want to cut cost, removing 10 people will be bullshit. You'll have to look at your cost driver. Are you talking about investment banking, from where I come? Removing 10 people can give you a lot of cost saving. Are you talking of IT? Labor is your cost driver. Are you talking about cement? Raw material cost is your cost driver. Are you talking about ferroalloys? Right? Please understand power. Are you talking about FMCG? Selling and distribution. Selling and distribution, FMCG. If you look at an industry, and you are all the industry experts, right? In fact, I will listen to you about your industry. Each industry has got its cost driver. What strategic cost management only says is, look at the breakup, see where your major cost is, try and drive efficiencies in that cost. That entire thing is known as, thank you very much, thank you sir, is known as identifying and working on your major costs. A cost driver is nothing but a major cost. Having said this, why the breakup is because to identify cost. The second question that I want to ask was, right, okay, this is EBITDA. Earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization. This is nothing but miscellaneous expense. This is industry specific expense. Please note one very important thing. Now, next question that you will ask me is, what after EBITDA? So before I take questions of what after EBITDA, I will not rub this. I want to take questions. I'll put the format of profit and loss, finish it, then take your questions one by one. So EBITDA, I'll put it here. This is not jargon, but I'd like to just flip this out here and say EBITDA less, Anuji, D and A. Venkat sir, A stands for amortization. Depreciation, I'll explain. Depreciation and amortization, you will get EBIT earnings before interest and tax. Excuse me, many MNCs, and I have many colleagues here, call EBIT, right, Siddharth sir, as operating income. So I do not know, right, if some of your CFOs say operating income and you're wondering what he means, he is meaning EBIT, earnings before interest and tax. Reliance, they are very clear, they don't. But MNCs use this word, operating profit, operating income. This is nothing but EBIT less, I'll finish it, take it logically, less interest. Thank you. You will get earning before tax, less tax. You will get earnings after tax. Indian companies like Reliance, like Bombay Dyeing, Indian companies don't call it earnings, they call it PAT, profit after tax. In strategic, they don't call it PAT also, they just say net profit. Most consultants, and like Hema ma'am very nicely said, don't even say PAT, earnings, net profit, they only call it as bottom line. This is what Sudhir sir was saying. Gross profit and net profit analysis. Thank you. What is bottom line? Imagine this, I finished the statement. Now I'll explain this one by one. This is your one line, thank you. This one line statement starting from income, cut, 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 it keeps coming down. It ends with net profit. So that's your top line, that's your bottom line. Please visualize this. I deliberately did not want to cramp it. Imagine this as a free-flowing statement starting from income, ending with net profit. What now you will ask, the questions that remain is, what is depreciation? Let me explain this. Now, let me explain this and then take questions from your end, which is a pleasure. Please keep the questions coming. What is depreciation? So, let me ask, Namita, what is the other colleague? Amalji, what is depreciation? Why? Why? Fantastic. Loss of value of asset. Why? Because of wear and tear. You want to provide for future replacement. Okay. Loss of value, thank you. Loss of value, depreciation is loss of value due to wear and tear, due to usage. Also, please note, depreciation is also loss of value due to passage of time. A very simple example I want to give, right? And I want to give a very simple example. I buy a car, 10 lakhs. I drive from, let's assume I drive it from the showroom to my house and I park it, and daily I ensure that I keep it in working condition. I don't drive it. I ensure that I just put it on, ignition is on, and after 1 year I try and sell this, and I go to dear Yashwant, who is a dear colleague, and say, Yashwantji, have you buy it? I have got no use for the car. 10 lakh car, hardly driven 3 kilometers. Yashwantji is a dear colleague. It's a commercial transaction. He looks at me and says, okay, Mr. Menon, I'll pay you 8 lakhs. I say, 8 lakhs for this car? I have hardly driven it for 3 kilometers. It's a working condition. There's no wear and tear. He looks at me and says, it's because it is you that I'm saying, right, I'll give you 9 lakhs. If it's somebody else, I would have said 7.5 lakhs. What is depreciation? It's not only loss of value due to wear and tear, it's also loss of value due to passage of time, obsolescence factor. And what depreciation is, both simple as that. Life is very simple. What depreciation is for tangible assets. Amortization is, sir, I heard senior asking what is A. Amortization is for intangible assets, right? The intangible asset is basically brands, goodwill, license, patent. Rajiv ji comes from that industry. That's why he asked this question. So please note, tangible assets you can touch, feel, see. They depreciate. Same thing applies for intangible assets, except that don't use the word depreciate. The jargon there is amortize. For example, let's get this example. Hema ma'am, let's get this example. I have a license. The best example is Pfizer, Lipitor. I have a license which I have purchased. You know what this license gives me, Anuji, Pankajji? This license gives me the right to sell, let's say, a medicine for 5 years, and nobody else can sell, right? But one sec. This license I have purchased, this license I have purchased for 10 million. So I have purchased a license. This license gives me the right to sell medicines, nobody else can do it, right? It's a patent. I'll only do it for 5 years and I purchase it for 10, 10 million. One sec. After one year, you have total life of the patent is 5 years. After 1 year, now the remaining useful life of the patent is 4 years. Sorry, sir, that 10 million, your patent is now worth only 8 million. You would say in your profit and loss account, here, in your profit and loss account, you would say -2. Why -2? Because that patent has lost its value. Earlier it was worth 10 million because you had the right to sell it for 5 years. Now after 1 year, it is worth only 8 million. After 3 years, it's going to be worth 6. So I gain 1 -2 there. Another after 1 more year, right, 4. Till the last year, its value becomes 0. Again, in this case, you would see that it is a case of loss of value due to, thank you, intangible assets. So if you're wondering what is amortization, it is nothing, sir. It's one of the simplest things. I want to simplify it. Please understand, intangible brands, patents, amortize, buildings, cars, plant and machinery, depreciate. And one very important thing on this depreciation and amortization, and very, very important thing, which I want you all to remember, depreciation and amortization, these are, and remember this please, these are non-cash expenses. These are non-cash expenses, extremely important for you all to remember. These are non-cash expenses. What is a non-cash expense? A non-cash expense means that money is not going out. Excuse me, car value has dropped from 10 lakhs to 9 lakhs. Okay, it's a non-cash expense. No, I'm paying a salary of 1 lakh to sir. That's a cash expense. No, I'm paying an interest of 1 lakh to sir. That's a cash expense. I'm paying a rental of 1 lakh, cash expense. This depreciation and amortization is what is known as non-cash expense. That is why when we bankers, when we prepare it, and when you do it, ma'am, you should remember, Hitul sir, when you prepare what is known as, with your permission, when you prepare what is, I'll again flip this. I want to take questions, but I want to start one more concept here. When you prepare the cash flow statement, what is the cash available to you? The cash available to you will be PAT plus, thank you ma'am, plus you will add depreciation and why would you add it back? Because it is a non-cash expense, right? That money has not gone out. When will that money go out? When you start purchasing something new. Abhi to aapne purchase hi nahi kiya, you are only showing loss of value. And that is the reason where you would see that. Now I make a very, very important comment. I'll start my questions, I promise with you. It's a promise. Thank you for your patience. Please note capital intensive companies. Companies which have got very huge asset blocks. Your ONGCs, your Reliances of the world, huge capital intensive. Their, please note sir, their net profit may not be huge, Siddharth sir. Right? Thank you ma'am. Their net, very fast ma'am, God bless. The net profit may not be huge, but their cash position will be huge. Why the cash position will be huge? Depreciation and amortization is going to be, especially depreciation is a huge amount. So if you look at these companies, you will clearly see that, right, these companies are going to be, though net profit is not very, very high, cash position will be very, very high. Why? Because you arrive at cash by adding non-cash expense. And what is that non-cash expense? It is depreciation and amortization. Before I take questions, 2 more headings. What is interest? Interest is nothing but financial expenses. And how much loans to take, we will discuss. But first, just understand what is interest. Interest is financial expenses. It is commissions, interest. These are financial expenses. So that is your interest. Remove that, you come to earnings before tax. Less tax. What is tax? Tax is nothing but corporate taxes. Remove that, you arrive at net profit. Start from income. Remove these expenses, arrive at EBITDA. From EBITDA, remove DNA, non-cash expense. I know I'm repeating, but one last time. Come to EBIT, earnings before interest and tax. Remove the interest. Come to earnings before tax. Pay your taxes. You get what is net profit. 3 rules. My final submission before I take questions. You are all here because you want rules to go back and apply. 3 rules that I want you all to remember. 3 rules that I want you all to remember always. First rule in business, be EBITDA, first minimum requirement, be EBITDA positive. First minimum requirement, be EBITDA positive. Minimum requirement. For example, now let me give you an example. If you look at one of my clients, the name of the client is, if you look at one of my clients, the name of the client is Aircel. Aircel is doing very well, touch wood, but unfortunately in some circles, telecom na sir, isme both, there's a lot of competition. In some circles, right, their EBITDA is negative. If you look at segmentally, circle wise, we found EBITDA negative. First thing that, you know what is EBITDA negative? They are not even earning enough to cover this expenses. Abhi ye expenses aana baki hai. Right, one sec sir. First rule that we set, right, one sec, Venkat sir. First rule that we set is try and become EBITDA positive as fast as possible. That's your minimum requirement. Second requirement, first goal post, be EBITDA positive. Second goal post, try and reach break even. What is break even? Break even basically means no profit, no loss. Break even means no profit. Thank you. No profit, no loss. That means, chalo, EBITDA positive ho gaya, very good. Now we'll talk about covering these expenses and at least then reach break even. Dekhiye, please remember, break even means no profit, no loss. Third requirement, which is the best thing. So first requirement, be EBITDA positive. Once you achieve that, go to break even. Third requirement, right? Moment you start making profits, reduce your payback period. What is payback? Payback is recovery of your investment. And shorter the payback, better it is. 3 rules. EBITDA positive. Moment you are EBITDA positive, it's there in the handouts that we have supplied, but I insist on repeating, right? EBITDA positive. Second, moment you are EBITDA positive, try and reach break even. Sir, Farid sir. Once you reach break even, try and earn profits so as to shorten the payback. Can I now slightly and bit loudly say something? I've seen a lot of colleagues confused between payback and break even. Sorry. Right? Break even is operating concept, no profit, no loss. Payback is a concept of recovery of investment. You have to obviously make profits to get into payback. I have invested 30 million. This year I made a profit of 10 million. Next year also I'm making a profit of 10 million. Third year, thank you. Third year also I'm making a profit of 10 million. Payback is 3 years. Shorter the payback, better it is. You may do any project evaluation, anything that you do. We are looking at 3 rules. One last time, and now the questions, starting with you, young friend, right? And obviously seniors, anybody welcome for questions. EBITDA positive, break even, payback. Once you get these concepts, your P&L is opened out, right? I'll love to take questions. You have been very patient, Rohan. Let's start with you.
In some cases, for creating a brand,
okay.
You might plan a negative EBITDA also.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Definitely. For shorter time.
Maybe span of period, maybe planned 4 years, 5 years.
No problem. Definitely. And that's exactly what many people do, right? Only thing in this case, you can have that, just ensure that if you're going with a planned negative EBITDA because you're sinking a lot of money in brand building, you need to be strong in terms of cash, right? If your cash flow, so sometimes what happens is, you try to create a brand and that brand starts eating up your own business. That could be a major problem. And coming back to the Indian telecom sector, nice observation, sir. Many of these people decided that first 6 months, 1 year, EBITDA will be negative, then it will become positive. Abhi wo 1 year, 2 years is stretched to a longer extent. Now that's become a big worry for investors.
Due to environment condition also.
In this case, it was right due to government policy change, right, and the king of spectrum changing the rules. But anyway, king of spectrum, king in Hindi means Raja. I'll leave it at that. Okay, right? Okay. Right.
related to DNA.
Sir, one sec. I want to, very good point, sir. You can have, right, I want to repeat what sir said. You can have negative EBITDAs for some time if you are going for heavy expenditure. But then you need to have a strategic vision that the brand that you will sink in will give you the money over a period of time. Rohanji.
Was related to DNA. The thing is, obviously accounting for depreciation and amortization, but do we also do a reverse where we, in terms of having property, which is increasing in value? do
Superb
depreciation
question.
also?
Superb. I knew something good is coming up. I only wanted you to be patient. Brilliant. Please remember one thing. Good question. Again, lovely audience. Accountants are conservative. So all negative things they'll factor in. Right now, what the colleague is saying is right. He's saying, नहीं मेरे से आपने मेरा building को depreciate किया, plant and machinery you are depreciated. So the land that I am sitting has appreciated. Very good question. Conservative principle. It has appreciated. God bless you. We will not bring that into the books. When you sell it, then it will come. No. As other income. अभी आप बेचे हो नहीं है ना? ठीक है, अच्छा है. God bless. That is why you will see wonderful question. As an analyst, our job, and this is for the bankers, is we always keep looking at, right, because accountants will prepare a statement, and first fundamental rule, fellow colleagues, and I speak for sir also, please understand, to read a financial statement, you don't need to prepare it. So don't worry, अरे मैं commerce का background नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, I am an engineer. And 20 years हो गया. To read a financial statement, you don't need to prepare it. It's only going by concepts. Please understand. Now, if you look at the entire thing, conservatism principle says, wherever there's a loss of value, account for it. Increase in value unless actually sold. Don't show it.
What about the valuation?
One sec. Have I finished with you? Or any other questions?
Only other thing was,
Please.
how do you determine the rate of depreciation?
Very good question again, before I come to ma'am. It's, you don't have to determine. It is no, right, sir. Market or company पे छोड़ दिया तो, sir, these people will take us for a ride. It is done as per very good questions before I come to ma'am. Depreciation rates are defined by the government. Right? I'll put it here now, right? And there are two methods of depreciation. Absolutely, right? Not single line, right? There are two methods of depreciation. But you are closer, ma'am. There are two methods of depreciation. One is SLM and WDV. Rates are specified.
By the government.
Yes, statutory authorities, right? One sec. Yeah, I realized I went fast. Sorry. SLM stands for straight line method, right? No problem, ma'am. And WDV stands for written down value. Yes, ma'am. You had another question.
Yeah, when sometimes auditors tell us to value our machine, why it is required? After certain period we have to do it.
Why he does that? Nice question again. Very practical question. Because auditor believes that आपने books में दिखाया है उसको at 10 lakhs. But auditor may believe that यार इसको valuation करो, right? It may be worth less than 10 lakhs. Right, so right, he's absolutely. So his worry is that what you are showing in your books is
So the life what you're
absolutely right.
saying it is for only 10 years, but auditors say it may be 15 years. So then divide, then it is coming down to.
He only wants to ascertain that the minimum value that you will get if you sell this asset somewhere or somebody values this is what is stated in the books. So if you are saying it is 10 lakhs worth, thank you, it's worth 10 lakhs, in your books you are showing it at 10 lakhs, he only wants somebody to independently, not you, independently come and say, uska machine ka valuation kara do bhai, right, and say at least is it worth 10 lakhs in books, right. So isko agar market mein aaj bechoge, to at least will you get 10 lakhs is what is it. Moment he says that external valuer says, no, Mr. Menon is showing it at 10 lakhs, but if you sell it, you will get only 7 lakhs. Then the auditor will immediately come back and say, excuse me, you have shown it at 10 lakhs, but external guy is saying you will get only 7 lakhs if you sell it. I want that 10 to, thank you, bring it down, right? Please note, If the valuer gives a but I think Rohan asked this question. If the valuer says it is you can sell and recover 11 lakhs, auditor will not say that 10 ko 11 karo. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? I think thank you. I'll write it down. One sec, Venkat sir. This you have to remember forever when you read statements. Principle of, yes ma'am, absolutely. Conservatism. Principle of conservatism. Any other questions? Any other remark? Are lovely, so many hands. Pankaj.
Just explain us SLM by practical manner.
Why not? Why not? Sure. Just in a minute I'll do it, sir. Why not? Here it is. You want me to explain SLM? Here it. I'll take questions. Just give me a minute. Let's take a machinery of 10 lakhs. Rate of depreciation SLM is 10%. Okay, since I'm taking 10 and 10, I don't want to repeat numbers. So I'll just take this as 20 lakhs. I don't want to repeat numbers. Okay. So straight line method, year 1 will be 10% of 20, 2 lakhs. And as sir was indicating very nicely, next year also it will be straight line. It will be again, right, 2 lakhs. So the depreciation that you will charge over the life, useful life, thank you, will always be 2 lakhs. Now first year you have charged 2 lakhs. So this machinery is now worth 20 minus 2, 18 lakhs. Second year again you will charge 2. Now the value is of the machinery is worth 16 lakhs. Right? No, 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 no. This is Hema ma'am, this is straight line method. You are right, but you are talking of WDV, right? Which I'll explain. Sir's question is explain SLM. Third year, once again, right? Third, this rate, you asked, na, beta, I told you also, na, that it is given by the government, right? Machines, everything the government is given, it is given in Companies Act, right? You asked that question, right? It is given in Companies Act. Again, let me take this. Year 3. Again 2 lakhs. Thank you. Now you got it. Now it is worth. This is SLM, straight line method. Thank you, Nitilji. Right? This 2 is constant. Now what is WDV? You had a faint idea, but you interchanged, ma'am. No problem. Suppose you take WDV rate as 15%. This is for Rohan. This rate is given by income tax rule, right? WDV rates come from income tax, right? So year 1, ध्यान से पंकज जी, थोड़ा एक twist है, nothing great. 15% of 20 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Now your machinery is worth 20 minus 3, 17. Written down value, please note, look at the jargon, English in the jargon, written down value. Next time, you will take 15% of what? 17. That is it, right? Absolutely, right? 15% of 17, which will come to roughly around 2.5, roughly, right? So 17 minus 2.5 will be 14.5. Year 3. Thank you. I have communicated 15% of 14.5. Right? Thank you, sir. 2 methods, straight line method and written down value. Rohan, this is for you. Straight line values you get from Companies Act. Written down value rates you get from Income Tax Act. So one sec. Yeah. Lovely question. Right? Normally, Indian companies follow straight line method. Right? Yeah. For income tax purpose, they say it is compulsory to follow WDV. So this is so good, right? Yes, right. Yes. Excuse me, I want to say this again. I think I went slightly fast there. Income tax is very clear. You have to follow WDV. Income tax बोलता है you have to, when you pay tax, calculate by WDV. A very nice question. For reporting, right? Government says report karna hai, you can use either of this. Pankaj ji, most of us report by SLM, but income tax ke liye all of us have to pay tax as per WDV. Okay. Now one second, please note, and this is for sir. Rajesh, you asked a good question. there are companies, you can use two methods. That's legal, perfectly legal. Ma'am was also, everybody does that. Can you move from one method to another? Answer is yes, legal, right? You can move. So you can move from SLM to WDV, WDV to SLM. That's also allowed. Now, what is a manipulation? Can I use the word shenanigan? Frequent moving from one to another.
Conveniently.
Is a financial shenanigan. Is a financial. अरे एक साल SLM किया, फिर दूसरा टाइम WDV किया, फिर तीसरे साल SLM आया, right? Then I want to use a term for my dear young friends, red flag. This is the way I've been trained. SBI caps, obviously, right? Red flag. Excuse me, Siddharth sir, 1 year SLM, then WDV, then SLM. Sir, I want to ask, I'm not saying it is good or bad. I will ask questions to sir. Red flag means ask questions. Wonderful point, right? Please note two methods. Thank you for the question. I'll take some more questions this side, then come this side again. I don't want them to feel neglected. One sec. Two methods, Pankaj sir, this is for you, SLM and WDV. The word SLM means, as sir was indicating, straight line, right? WDV, for tax purposes, you have to use written down value.
Where we have to use SLM?
You use the word reporting. Reporting to whom?
Shareholders. Shareholders, right? Like in reporting to tax authorities. One sec. Yeah. Yes. Pankaj ji, you are so very good, right? We have to prepare two reports, and you will see that the two depreciations will not match. And that's now you will ask why we do all this, which I don't want to get into a discussion. Government allows that, we do it. Also a way of providing employment to chartered accountants. This is right, right. Now the simplest thing. Now one sec. It's the simplest thing. One of you all will stand up and say, "Do method avoid karo, ek hi karne do." See, we are not here to seek, right? SLM, right? SLM, right? For reporting, all of them in India, right, and abroad also people use SLM. No problem.
In other countries for income tax?
WDV. WDV. It says nothing.
So what is the logic of keeping SLM and WDV?
The answer is very, very clear, sir. Right? Because there are two methods. You can take your choice. Income tax says, I don't want to give you a choice because for me, I want a standard thing. For right, for reporting to shareholders, you can. But then you have to write in that notes to accounts that you are using SLM method for reporting. Then it is good. But income tax बोलते हैं मेरे खिचपिट मत करो यार, तुम 4 दिन 4 करेगा तो problem होगा. So all of you are WDV. Right? Reporting, you can have a choice. Hey, Farid sir, you ask very rarely, and I respect your question. Globally, there is another method also. Accelerated depreciation. So if you want, India में नहीं है, बस यही बहुत confusion है अभी, right? Accelerated depreciation means if you want, you can write off faster, right? India, they say only two, SLM and WDV. But you asked a question globally, that's why I responded.
So you said working capital to also add DNA.
Working capital, no, Rajiv sir, right? Cash flow.
But there is actually cash flow.
Yeah, this was it.
Yeah, so DNA is not actual cash.
It is senior. It is. That money has not gone out of your pocket. I'd like to repeat it again. It's a pleasure and out of respect for seniority. Please understand, and a young friend is saying, I'm providing 3 lakhs for depreciation. Money has not gone out from Rohan's factory. It is there in its factory, and that is where his cash position is higher. And then looking at these esteemed colleagues, I said, Reliance is capital intensive. तो आपको लगेगा net profit कम है. अरे इतना सब करने के बाद ये लोग 2 करोड़ कमा रहे हैं. Wrong thinking. 2 crore is PAT. Cash is, you have to immediately add that depreciation and amortization. Right? So, thank you. You're making me repeat. No problem. Please remember, sir, depreciation and amortization is always non-cash expense. Some more. Right? Yeah. Why not? Please. Pankaj, I didn't finish your question. You have one more? Okay, quickly. Sorry. Boliye na.
Yeah, sir. Suppose some banker insists that you have this much profit according to the CBD data. So suppose they say example that you have 10 lakhs net profit. And if we take the depreciation and show net profit at 6 lakhs and explain to the banker that the profit.
He will be convinced.
They will convince.
He will be convinced. Very nice question. He'll be convinced. Sir, but can I, out of respect for you, because we talked during the break, आपके केस में नहीं होगा ना सर, आपका ट्रेडिंग फर्म है. सुधीर सर ऐसा बात कर सकते हैं, राइट? एंड दीज कलीग्स कैन से आपका सर आपका लॉजिक बराबर है, बट ट्रेडिंग है तो मेरा नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन रहेगा क्या डेप्रिशिएट कर रहे हो आप?
Mostly some personal things like cars.
नहीं हो सर, हाँ सर. Your firm is independent than you. So in your case, you are right. You can tell the banker to focus on that, but then you'll have to show which are the assets that is, which is one case, sorry I'm saying this, which is one case where if you typically see bankers are not, I'm not saying bankers are not comfortable lending to trading as comfortable trading to manufacturing. So no, but I'll give you a route. What you should say is, and I respect the fact that you've come in here, don't focus on cash because that is not the expense. That Sudhir sir can say. That definitely Rajiv sir can say. What you should show is your profit margin, which I'll talk after lunch. How much margin you have in business. That's how you need to talk in trading. Yes, Anuj. I will.
Simply two questions. One is DNA on cash payment. I didn't get it.
We'll talk during lunch. I don't want to keep repeating.
Okay.
And we'll talk during lunch.
The
Yeah.
second thing you talked about reduce your payback period.
Huh.
Just wanted to ask you, for example, a payback is for 5 years.
Huh.
You're earning a profit
Huh.
first year, second year, third year.
Huh.
You can reduce your payback because, for example, a machine, okay, if it is delivering and the machine cost is, for example, 1 crore.
Anuji, I realize you're slightly different from the audience. So what I'll do is, and no, I need to respect everybody. I'll talk to you during lunch. Both of your questions are good repetitions, but out of sheer respect for the audience, I'll talk to you during lunch. I'll invest time with you. It's my pleasure, right? But I don't want to invest time with the audience, right? Payback, I'll quickly repeat. Sorry, I'm repeating, but since a colleague wanted, but I want to spend time with you. It's a pleasure, right? Payback is recovery of investment. So lower the payback. I know I'm repeating, but just for the dear colleague, right? Lower the payback means how fast are you recovering your investment is what we discussed. Lakshman sir.
So, basic question, maybe basic question.
Please, please.
See, you're making investment.
Ha.
Say, for example, you're setting a plant to manufacture.
Ha.
Where it is reflected in the balance sheet.
Where is it reflected in the balance sheet?
You're showing the core income or expenses is the production expenses where you get one raw material and finished product. But for manufacturing this, you have to buy a land, you have to invest on the machines, and you have to make some extra where it may not be reflected the yearly expenses. Where exactly?
Superb question. Can I take some more questions on P&L and I'll show you where it is shown in balance sheet. Your question is not basic, a very nice question on balance sheet. First, let me finish P&L and then I'll go to balance sheet. Yes, Nikhilji.
We are talking about EBITDA.
Ha.
Now for that, we see MNC companies are not investing on assets.
Ha.
And they usually lease the assets or infrastructures. Isn't they hitting this terminology? And how is it they are benefited out of this?
Simple, no, sir. Right? And the benefit is very simple. If you outsource, right, you are not basically taking up the headache of manufacturing. You are playing a brand game. So, no, but one sec. You need to respect MNCs for the fact that they are creating a brand. So, a Colgate Palmolive, it may be produced by somebody else. We don't really matter, but we are picking it up because we see the Colgate brand. So, an outsourcing game is not an EBITDA game. It is more of a brand building exercise that is being done. EBITDA game, if you want to understand, right, you need to understand that where people are sinking a lot of money in their expenses, right? In this case, it's more of a brand building exercise, and that's exactly the case if you look at telecom also. Forget MNCs, telecom. Today, if you look at Aircel, what Aircel says is, and this trend was started, we need to salute the gentleman, was by Bharti. So you know what he said? He क्या model में convert किया, sir? You have to appreciate this. He said, if I'm going to be the biggest player in India and I'm going to build towers, I'm going to have IT, I'm going to spend a lot of money on capex. So I will not do that. Rather than I doing it, I'll give it to IBM. I'll give it to GTL. So GTL manages my towers. I will pay them rentals. IBM builds up my infrastructure support. I'll pay them, right, software support. You know what that model is called? So you asked very nice questions, sir. Nikhilji, superb thing. That model in strategy is called as, this is a wonderful audience, is converting your capex model to OPEX. Right? Which is a very, you ask very spontaneous questions, but a very difficult for me, and I'm too small a person to say good or bad, because it depends on industry to industry. In some cases it works, in some cases it does not work. In the case of Bharti, it worked. But please understand, if you are not able to build a strong brand, Now I am supplying to sir, Siddharth sir is, or rather Siddharth sir is supplying to me, I am putting my brand and selling it. So tomorrow Siddharth sir looks at me and says, all that Menon is doing is putting in a brand and selling it. Why don't I try and sell it directly? Then this model goes for a toss. So, but you are in business, I don't need to tell you, not a single model works all the time. Okay, it depends on case to case, right? In this case, it worked for him. It worked for him. And you know what happens when you convert a CapEx, wonderful observation, Nitoji. If you convert a CapEx model to OpEx model, you know what happens? What drains us of cash? Think about it. See, we all earn well. What drains us of cash? Moment you buy a house,
Maintenance.
right? Moment you buy a car, then it drains you out of cash. Yeah, otherwise, once in a while in a mall, I don't mind going. But moment you buy a house, then you'll have to possibly sit down with your wife and say, yeah, 4 times in a month, do we need to go to the mall? We can walk together, come back. You don't purchase anything, right? Why? Because what drains you out of cash is your capex, right? But, no, I need to salute him. What he converted was, it worked for him in that model, in that business situation, capex to opex, right? And that's what most of these guys are trying to do. Outsourcing is a classic model of converting a capex to opex model. ये खुद से नहीं करेगा, राजीव सर से कराएगा, थप्पा मार के गिरेगा. Again, for a young friend, but he is a businessman. I'm not saying this is the best model. I can't say that. It works, right? Provided you put in the precautions.
But it doesn't create any assets for it.
Pardon, sir?
But it doesn't create
No assets. And that's I don't want to create any assets and block my money. In one way, it is also another thing, sir. When can I make this very controversial statement? Many foreign banks, when they used to come to India earlier, you need to understand this. I'm making a very controversial statement. They could have purchased property. But when they came to India, they were very clear. Unko kya hai, sir? They can buy property. Even though the government allowed it, they would always rent out property. I hope you understand what I'm leading you all to think to, right? A very simple logic. Deposit and pay that. Why? That shows, right, what's really happening. And earlier, you know what? That entire thinking is, this is a joke, but right, no sarcasm, it's a practical joke. Earlier, when the foreign banks came to India, RBI said, you should be a branch of your parent. So Citibank India should be a branch of Citibank US. Why? If Citibank India goes into problem, Citibank US should save it. So you should come as a branch of your parent, right? Then you had the subprime crisis. Now RBI's thinking is changing, right? That logic worked then. अरे ये branch होके आएगा, India में तकलीफ होगा तो US बचाएगा. Now the thinking is US पे तकलीफ होगा तो इनको कौन बचाएगा? So now the entire thinking of RBI is, I don't want you as a branch. I want you as a separate company in India, right? Arey, lovely business entity in India. Please understand this entire thinking. And obviously, if you read now, we get time. The bankers should read, not you all, sir. Bankers should read. Foreign banks are asking for some tax exemptions. This is going on. The fact is, you are changing one model to another. I'll take a couple of more questions. Rajiv, say you had one.
You talked about depreciation rates
Yes.
for tangible assets.
Yes.
For intangible assets.
Yes.
How is the rate calculated?
Lovely question. You will look at, Ashwin sir answered this, you will look at typically useful life. And again, there are standard rates that is given. There are standard.
Will you give example of patent license?
Standard rates.
Brand?
Again, you will look at useful life, and there, please note, the government does not give you any standard rate. That is why whenever amortization comes in, immediately, Rajesh sir, this is for you. We'll ask questions on what basis are you amortizing. There is no standard for brand, sir. So when somebody amortizes a brand, then we will go back and ask question, what basis are you amortizing it? Can I also say something, Rajesh sir? I answered it theoretically. Practically, सोचो ना, मेरे पास एक brand है, मैं amortize करेगा ही नहीं उसको. Indirectly, what is the message I am sending to people if I amortize my brand? अगर कल, right? Please, I don't want to answer things theoretically. You should think practically also. Coca-Cola starts amortizing its brand of Coke. You know what is the next thing Sudhir sir will say? They themselves don't believe in the brand. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So the fact is, right, conservatism. Conservatism, they can't. Unless they sell it.
No, if suppose they're in 20 countries, suppose they're in 40 countries, they can.
unless they sell the brand to somebody. Like for example, sir, I keep asking, I'll keep responding. Thumbs Up. Chavan's never sold bottling plants and other things. Gold Spot, Thumbs Up and other things. On what basis did he make 650 crores those days? Salute the gentleman. Right? On what basis? He did not sell his bottling. Coke never paid him for his bottling plants and other things. He sold a brand. He said, take my Thumbs Up. Right? Right? Louis Philippe, Madura Coats. Right? Birla acquired it. They were very clear. They said, you keep your manufacturing facilities. I want the brand. Henceforth, the Arrow brand will be used by us. The Madura Coats. See now, sir, once you sell your brand to somebody else, then you can bring that money in and show that as other income. It will come into your. Otherwise, you can't stand here and claim, I have a brand of this. I have a goodwill of this. That is not permissible. Now we'll go to balance sheet. I'll spend time with the young friend. It's always a pleasure. Why not? Please. I'm listening to you. Can I also use the time to rub? Yeah, please.
Suppose there's a depreciated value, say X,
Huh.
at the end of the and when we sell that asset, whatever,
Yes. Yes.
the book value is X and we sell it at X minus something.
Superb.
Is it a loss?
It's a loss. Very nice question. Book value is 10 lakhs. Sir, I'm answering your question on balance sheet first, right? With your permission. Balance sheet value is 10. You sold it at 11. Profit. 1 lakh. Very nice question. Sir, now don't call it profit. Maja aa gaya. Call it as, Sudhir sir, I'll give them the term itself, right? Call it as, Yashwant sir, a lovely capital gain. In your books, it is worth 10, but you sold it for 7. You can say income, I don't mind. But now that we have gone to that advanced level, get the right term, no? Okay.
What is cash?
Gone in that year only, or it can be
Right, if you have incurred that loss in that year you will push it up. You will push it up.
spread over.
You can. Under certain circumstances, you can, which I'll describe after I finish my balance sheet. I'll talk about that special culture.
What is cash, sir?
We'll talk, don't worry. What is balance sheet is? Balance sheet of company XYZ. I'll just introduce this, sir, and then we'll break for lunch, right? Yeah, absolutely, ma'am. Liabilities, which is nothing but source of funds. Thank you very much. Which is nothing but debt and equity. Wonderful discussion on this. Debt is, thank you again, sir. Debt is outside funds. Equity is owner's funds. Now, what is assets? There was one question pending from a dear colleague. Where do you show assets? What is the capex? So now let's use logic, no, and finish balance sheet. At least start balance sheet, finish it off post lunch, right? We'll finish it off post lunch. Please note, assets are nothing but application of funds. I'd like to go to the younger Pankaj, dear friend, right? And I'm sure you'll knock it off. Very polite gentleman. What could be the first asset that a company can have? What do you do when you start up? Boli na bete. Land. Thank you. Land. Planted machinery. Thank you. So put it logically. Land. Building. Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you, Venkat sir. Plant and machinery. Furniture and fixtures. Balance sheet starts. And logic remains the same. It's logic. Where does the company apply the money? The company applies the money, right, by buying, Rajesh sir, land. Building. Planted machinery, furniture and fixtures. Sudhir sir would call this as fixed assets. And out of response for that, some colleagues had some very good questions. Let me tell you, land as an asset, and I'm taking total charge, I want you to pay attention here. Land as an asset is different from the others because land typically, right, land typically appreciates while others depreciate, which means, Mithul sir, right, the colleague sitting next also. Sir, you all brought in some very good points. What is the job, the two bankers, what is our job? So Pankaj sir, when you talk about it, is you should also show one thing. As an analyst, you should remember that land has a lot of hidden reserves. I need 10 minutes of your time before we break. just 10 minutes, right? But important I communicate. What is hidden reserves? Land has a lot of hidden reserves, right? This is out of respect for Sujit sir, right? Hidden reserves. Please don't think in terms of oil. Don't, right? Thank you, Sujit sir, wonderful. Don't think in terms of gold, no, right? Right, very good. But I am not an agriculturist, I am not a mining expert, I am a simple finance person. What is hidden reserve? You all covered it by your beautiful questions. Let me give you a hidden reserve example. I said law of conservatism. Now for example, what is law of conservatism? So you asked some beautiful, in the introduction you all said you all want this, here it is. Please remember asset valuation by accountants is always at asset valuation by accountants is always, ma'am, please remember this, is always at cost or market value, at cost or market value, whichever is lower. Conservatism. Pankaj, bete, conservatism, sir, conservatism. Okay, and that's where you get hidden reserves. I will. I have not finished. I'm just explaining now. Manager, sir, ma'am, you would know this example. State Bank, one sec, sir. Let me finish, please. Right? Then I'll say any questions. Bring in. Right? Please don't break the flow. Humble request, colleagues. Right? State Bank of India. I want to give you examples. Ma'am is there. State Bank of India. We have a wonderful building. Wonderful building, sir. Opposite Mantralaya. 26 structure building. Opposite Mantralaya. Sushilji, after 9/11, right? Some of the politicians felt this is a security threat. Somebody will come into SBI building and then launch an attack on Mantralaya. So they asked SBI to vacate. Okay, SBI said we'll vacate. We have no problems. You pay us the market value, and I'm talking of those days. Okay, the market value was then calculated. Then, आज का तो right Nariman Point market value and all don't even try to calculate. Okay, right? It doesn't matter nowadays. Okay, 2003 से real estate game has changed. Till 2003 it was still affordable. After that the game has changed. Okay, entry of foreign players, if I can say that. Those days, sir, the market value of that land was found out. They had taken a rough estimate. They had found it out as 1,000 crores. Today you don't even try to find out, please, right? You know what is hidden reserve? I want to give you an example. This land, ma'am would speak for it, right? This land in SBI's balance sheet is valued at a cost of 1 crore. Thank you. Why? It makes sense because when they had acquired it from Imperial Bank, they had paid in 1950s, they had paid a princely sum of 1 crore. What is the job of a banker? How do we analyze? So how do you talk to bankers? All those colleagues who wanted this, how do you present your data, right? Please try and show hidden reserves, right? And accounting, what is the difference between an accounting and a financial analyst? My job is to look for hidden reserves. And what is hidden reserves? Finding out the current market value as opposed to, you use the term, sir, one of you all, book value, right? I think so. One of you all, thank you, right? Book value. And the moment you see the difference, you know that there is hidden reserves. You have to understand that it's all about a process. Some of you have heard this term. I'm using one more jargon, right? And the jargon here that we use is Sudhir sir, thank you. Mark to market. M to M means, I want me to write down? Yeah. Mark to market. This process of finding out hidden reserves is known as mark to market. And so next time somebody looks at you and makes a presentation and says, hey, you are marking to market, means what? He's trying to find out the current market value of your assets. That's what a respected colleague here, ma'am, was saying. Auditor has asked to do valuation. That's a mark-to-market process. One way, positively, I gave you the entire case was hidden reserves. Where else would you give, right? Where else would you give hidden reserves? I have seen hidden reserves, one in land. Next thing that you would see is, this heading will come from here. One sec. Let me interact with dear Amolji, right? Amol, what would you do if you have surplus money? What do we do? Thank you. Simple, right? Right. Invest. I don't complicate things. Reserves, I'll explain. Sir asked, I'll explain. After lunch, we have time, right? Thank you. Invest. Similarly, a company also will invest. The next heading in asset side of the balance sheet is investments. Thank you, sir. Application of money. So if a company buys shares of another company, it is an investment. It's an application of money. Don't forget that. It's an investment. Thank you, Amol. Right? It's an investment. And again, you will like to see that investment में भी आपको hidden reserve मिलेगा. Now let us take a case. अभी Reliance का ही आप देख लीजिए, right? Or Tata Group. There are colleagues from Reliance. So I'll take the Tata Group. You can apply it to any firm. If you take a Tata Group, there's a very nice way they have holdings among themselves. There is one holding company, Tata Sons, which has shares in TCS, which have shares in Tata Chemicals, which have shares in Tata Steel, and I'm stopping with this because if you keep writing their empire, right? And there's another beauty of this also. TCS in turn will have shares in Tata Chemicals, TCS in turn will have shares in Tata Motors, Tata Motors in turn will have shares in Tata Chemicals. This entire thing is known as cross holdings. So next time somebody says cross holdings, what is cross holding? Shares in each another. This one is known as holding company or parent company. Holding company or parent company. Now can we do a small hidden reserve thing here also? Suppose you are preparing the balance sheet of Tata Sons. When they invested in TCS, let us say they would have purchased it at 10 rupees. What is I don't know, what is the current market value of TCS? 1,000. Excuse me. Tata Sons will show investment at 10 rupees. Thank you, sir. Current market price is 1,000 rupees. 1,000 minus 10. Thank you. 990 is hidden reserve per share into. Thank you, ma'am. That's it. Investments. And this is for the colleagues who are saying, as bankers, okay, for others also, when you present to bankers, don't only go with your financial statements. Also try and present your hidden reserves. Bankers and equity analysts sitting out there, it's a very nice mixed audience. Our job is to find out hidden reserves, and especially if you are an equity analyst. A banker may, like these colleagues from DBS, may or may not do it, but if you are an equity analyst, that, ma'am, and you're trying to be trained for that. As an equity analyst, we'll try and find out, is there a hidden reserve, right? Having said this is fixed assets, investments. Before we break for lunch, these are tangible assets. I don't need to turn back. You obviously have intangible assets, which is nothing but, thank you, brands. We discussed that, lovely discussion that we had, patents, license, right? So I'm just putting it as intangible assets. And the last heading in balance sheet, lovely. And the last heading in balance sheet, which is the topic of discussion post lunch, is what is known as net current assets. What is net current asset? Excuse me, asset is application of money. I will keep saying this. And when you walk out, I want you all to feel confident. Word current means short term. Short term. Less than 1 year. So these are all long-term investments. Thank you, sir. This current means short term. So what do you need current assets? You need current assets only for one thing. A day-to-day production, day-to-day work. Thank you, sir. Day-to-day working. And incidentally, a dear colleague already said that. Sorry, can't remember who. One of you already said that. Working capital. That's your working capital. So can we take a break in 2 minutes by just drawing the working capital cycle? And again, I will request you all to use logic, right? Then we'll break for lunch. Please note, 1 second, right? What is your net current assets? Can we draw the working capital cycle? So we'll do it together. Let's start with what is needed for day-to-day working? Raw materials. Rohanji, 1 second, bete. Raw materials. Thank you. Once you have raw materials, you will convert it into work in progress. Once you convert into work in progress, thank you, Pankaj, right? You will then convert it into finished goods. Once you, sir, kitna simple hai. You start with raw material, then you convert into work in progress, then you convert into finished goods. Excuse me, then what do? Sell. Siddharth, sir. Then after you sell, what will you do, sir? Okay, right? Siddharth, sir. So he's very polite, but very nice gentleman. So what would you do with the money that you recover? Very polite, very nice. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you who all answered this. I just wanted to interact with sir. That's your working capital cycle. Thank you, sir. That's it. Ma'am had a point. A point is that she was trying to say sales. Ho gaya, khatam. This is working capital cycle. Kya hai isme? Raw material, work in progress, finished goods, sales. Now, the beauty of this is sales either can be cash sales. Are yaar, le lo maal, paisa do. If life can be so good, no, then we all will be entrepreneurs. The point is, you have got a dangerous, right, dangerous problem here. It is known as receivables. ये बंधु है ना, बहुत problem करता है. I don't know, by default I was going to say the word animal. Then I realized this word I don't use. Then I realized it has come from the morning session, right? The dangerous, right, term. Yeah, good. If you want to say animal, very dangerous in business. I'm going to use a red pen for the first time today, right? And this is also known as, right, debtors. Sorry. This is also known as, sorry, it's not working. It's known as debtors. I see a